After the unanticipated defeat of the Second Space Battle of Planet Levento started by the Ano's president Astrume retreated from his political position temporarily, leaving a puppet figure in his place. Then he started formulating a plan to save his reputation. Because back on planet Sharon, the population became seriously infuriated at this loss. Thus word of the defeat spread like wildfire, causing his political party and the Ano Funding Committee Board to begin questioning his intelligence and military experience of knowledge. Following the articulation about the Second Space Battle of Levento being totally unsuccessful, this resentful result caused the Vartechan species to struggle within fighting. Thus, this forced the Vartechan species to break away from their traditions of horticulture and agriculture. Hence among the various factions that soon arose, one of these individuals was the father of Professor Tutarthu, named Kontaglihan Tutarthu, a key founding member of the Balamov group that would eventually become known as the Vartechan Deheliran regime. A group Professor Tutarthu would join and transform into a science institution in society under his father's name. Then it was to be known as the Balamov Institute of Biomedical Center of Sciences BICS. Meanwhile back at the Sharshan Naldal Trench, the home terrace of the trench dragon species, among other dangerous trench species that live here. The elder trench watcher Abdiet and Kridwia, alongside Seraphern and Vitalaya, quickly became armored to take down any escaping Doi Coilman dragons heading at them, but they instantly overwhelmed the two trench watchers. Thus limited and out of options, trench watcher Abdiet called over Theoprimicus and it formed into its physical form. Then he unleashed a gigantic light storm of saffron sunflower regeneration light onto the Revelation region, therefore regenerating the broken divine protection seal of the plane of existence space-time. Afterwards, Theoprimicus, the one true god of existence, decided to let go of control of this dangerous region and watch how the trench watchers will behave without its intervention. Therefore the belligerent trench watcher, Abusil Vivaldi Kaminsky, assumed this was a signal to arise from the safety of the shadows, thus time to reflect upon his aged name. Sometime later, next belligerent watcher, Abusil became surrounded by saffron silver fog, before ascending into the edge of existential space and time. Meanwhile back on planet Levento, although the unbuilt Ano Federation administration became a coalition of corporations and government entities fighting over control. Later on the awakened but passive and gentle Lavanthan Terra beasts, Terramanthu and Quetaratna, decided to stay awake and patrol the atmosphere because of the Ano relentless actions. Meanwhile this caused the Vartechan species to become more aggressive and break away from their culture of agriculture and planetary farming. Therefore, they should opt to start reforming their civilizations into becoming focused on renewable resources and energy production, rather than waste non-renewable resources meant for creation and social consumption. However, despite the numerous proposed renewable inventions shown and demonstrated in front of the Vartechan Renewable Technological Development Order, or simply VRTO, few of these were considered viable long-term species-sustaining inventions. Therefore, the young Professor Tutarthu decided to take the risk and created an invention that would save his species. 2 years later, the VRTO continued to reject numerous new inventions meant to be used for the Vartechan species, until Professor Tutarthu thought up the CPalm Motion Palm Generator device, or the CPalm 1 generator, in one of his late-night dreams. Hence, when Professor Tutarthu first was face-to-face at the VRTO judges panel, he was deeply nervous, but then, he took a deep breath and focused on completing his live demonstration. Thus Professor Tutarthu revealed the best model of the CPalm 30 generator in this public exhibition room. After turning on his specialized computer connected to the CPalm 30, Professor Tutarthu then turned on the device after submerging it underneath for gallons of tap water. At first the judges were skeptical it would short-circuit, but Professor Tutarthu built the latest generations of the CPalm 30 to be 99% waterproof. Then the following month, Professor Veriyun Taglihan Tutarthu was declared the champion of the VRTO engineering contest, because the CPalm 30 showed a stable level of energy production throughout the live demonstration. Thus the CPalm 30 aquatic generator became popular, and Professor Tutarthu was associated with this new invention, but this was only the beginning. A few years later, the young Professor Tutarthu became chief scientist official of Akron Biomedical Medical Center located in Razahi City, the second largest Vartechan city of planet Sharonth. After Professor Tutarthu became the CSO, he began creating trial prototypes of a new nanoscopic robotic technology, built to self-replicate and self-absorb. Moreover, these nanobots could rebuild, repair or restore damaged tissues in an active living organism. Afterwards one day, Professor Tutarthu managed to create a prototype of nanobots. He dubbed them as Intelligent Independent Interlocking Nanotechnology, or IINTech. Thus, to test the legitimacy of these new EE nanobots, Professor Tutarthu isolated an inactive, oxalogen egg from a stored Petri dish of his laboratory, before using a microscopic syringe under his microscope to inject a sample of EE nanobots into the egg. The following day, Professor Tutarthu examined the injected, oxalogen egg, discovering the EE nanobots adequately repaired the previous non-viable oxalogen egg nucleus. Therefore, after the success of restoring this prior infertile animal egg, Professor Tutarthu wrote a short scientific study of this experiment. Before he spoke to a number of his colleagues, formed a team to legitimize the potential medical and research benefits of the EE tech or nanobots. Thus this concludes the official timeline of the Apocryphal Vartechan Revolution arc.